Hi, everybody. This is Cristina from TriathlonMami, Dashstrom Coaching, and Dashstrom Run Clubs. And I help moms just like you redefine what is possible for yourselves, for your families, for your communities. And one way that I do that is by helping you start a profitable children's fitness business. And over these past days, we've been covering the 12 days of nonsense. So, the 12 biggest reasons that I have heard on the phone moms who decided not to move forward with their dream and kind of stay in their comfort zone. Now, this is not a judgment. Lord knows that I do this often, but it's if you tell me that your dream is to start a business and you don't, and you fall into one of these nonsenses, that's what we're talking about. And today's nonsense is a little bit controversial. So, but I feel like we've been together for 9 days now. So we have a little bit of communication here. And the nonsense is my spouse won't support me. Now, there is very few people for whom this is absolutely true, right? That their spouse just is not supportive of them. And if that's the case, you have bigger problems than starting a business, right? You have to look at that relationship because you deserve to be with somebody who loves you, appreciates you, and supports you in your own path and dreams. So that's like a whole nother ball of wax, and we're not going into that today. We're going into the spouse that says, okay, let me try this again. So when you get on the phone and you tell me, well, I need to talk to my spouse because this is a big investment decision for our family, this is something that we always do together. Totally normal, right? Like the last thing that I or anybody should want you to do is to do something and be like, well, fuck everybody. I'm going to go do and follow my dreams, and do something that's detrimental to your relationship with your spouse or to your family. Of course not. Like that totally defeats the purpose of the exercise. But more often than not, what happens is that we use our spouses the same way that we use our kids, as a reason or as a place to hide behind. Because it's much easier to say, oh, I can't leave my comfort zone and do something that's scary because my husband is not supportive or my partner is not supportive. You have somebody that shields you. And oftentimes that's exactly what's going on. It's you, it's you hiding behind that person so that you stay in your comfort zone. But we're going to dive into this a little bit more. And for this conversation, for this dive in, I'm going to assume, and just, so that we're all on the same level, that your partner is, I'm going to call him a husband, and I'm going to assume that it's a male. Doesn't mean that it has to be. Probably these interactions and relationships are the same regardless, but just because I have a husband, that just makes it easier for me to talk about it in those terms. Okay? So what happens is that we get on the phone, or you have a dream, you want to start your business, and it's really scary because it means a change. It means a change for who you are. It is an investment of money. Sometimes you may not have the money independently, and it's a decision that you make with your husband, and you go and you say, okay, I'm going to go talk to my husband, and we're going to decide upon this. 90% of the time, this is what happens. You talk to your husband from your place of fear, from your place of insecurity, from your place of, I don't know, what do you think? And the way, there's a book that's called Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And men are really from Mars. I mean, like, they're very different than we are. So when we approach a male, right? Our partners, our husbands, our spouses. And we say, oh my gosh, I want to do this, but it's really scary. It's really fun and I really want to do it, but I'm kind of nervous because it's going to, it needs an investment and I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know, what do you think? Okay. Men, like their little antennae, their Martian antennae goes up and says, My Venus partner, she is afraid, she is insecure, she is in trouble. And their instinct is protect. Their instinct is fix it. Let me just fix this problem because I cannot handle her not being on par or not being on target, because if she's not on target, then my kids aren't on target, and then my house is not on target, and then my life is not on target. Like, I need her safe. I need her happy and comforted so that she can continue this role that I need her to have. Of course, this doesn't happen in your conscious, right? This is something that happens unconsciously, but this happened all the freaking time. So your husband, your spouse, your partner is going to come up to you and say, is like, it sounds like you really want this, but it sounds like you're really nervous. Maybe you're not ready for it yet. So why don't you do something a little easier? Why don't you become a real estate agent? I heard like a lot of moms do that and they're super happy. Why don't you do that instead? And again, they're not doing this. They're not like stomping on your dream because they are mean or because they don't support you. It's because they're instinctually trying to help you. They're trying to fix a problem. Your problem is you want a change, but you're insecure. His thinking is like, okay, I'm giving you a change and I'm giving you security. Awesome. So then what happens is that you come back to somebody like me and says like, my spouse, he doesn't support me. He's not on board. It's a big decision. And he said no. He didn't say no. He didn't say, he was not supportive of you. It's just that he was supportive of your fear, not of your dreams. I knew this was going to happen. Let me open the door for Moon here. He's old. So it's not that he wasn't there for you. It's not that he disagrees with what you want. It's not that he doesn't support your dreams. It's not that he doesn't want you to be happy. It's not that he thinks it's too expensive. It's just that he is protecting you because that is what Martians do. Okay. So, but because it's comforting to us, because then that allows us to stay in our comfort zone, because then it means that we don't have to stand up and fight for what we believe in. Then we say, I can't follow my dream because my husband doesn't support it, because my spouse doesn't support it. Right? It's nonsense. It's a really easy, convenient way for we women, moms, to stay stuck. Now you can tell me, yeah, Cristina, is that you don't understand. It's not that, like, if it were cheaper, if it were something else, like maybe I would be more committed, or maybe it's just that I want to change, but this is just not the path for me. I totally respect that. Absolutely. You do not have to work with me to start a business, like, at all. But chances are, and if you're really honest with yourself, you're not going to start that business anyways. Not this one or the next one or anyone, because it's not about the business. It's not about the investment. It's not about your spouse. It's about you. It's about your decision and your commitment to yourself to follow your dreams. Now, if this is not your dream, a whole different ball of wax. But if we're having this conversation, or at least if we're having this conversation on the phone, it's because you have told me and you have determined that this is what you want. So if this is what you want, it's not your spouse that is going to stop you from doing it. It's you. It's one more of those little teeny subconscious subversive ways that we self-sabotage. It's a really easy way for us to stay stuck in our comfort zone. So what do we do instead? Because sometimes you are committed, you want to do this, and you're just like, but I don't know what my spouse is going to say. Okay, that's a different conversation. That's like a skill set. I can help you with that. So if you are going to start a business, or if you are going to have that conversation with your spouse who is male, because and I say that because that's what I know, right? Then you have to approach it differently. So Whereas before he's like, honey, I had this conversation. Like, I really want to start this business, but it's really scary and it takes money. And I'm a little nervous, but what do you think? Instead of doing it that way, which is going to trigger the Martians, like, oh my God, my wife, my partner, my spouse is insecure. I must help. I must rescue. I must fix it. I must be there. Instead of that relationship, you need to own your determination. You need to own where you stand and figure out for yourself first if this is what you want. And if you want, like, if this is where you want to invest your money, your time, your energy, if this is the path that you want to change. And if you have that certainty for you, then you go talk to your spouse. Because then the conversation is, you know what, hun? I saw this opportunity. I had this conversation. I did my homework. I know what it is. I know what it is I need to do. It's going to require an investment. And we have invested in things before. And I want your support because this is what I want to do. Then the Martian's antennae are not going to go like beep, 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 beep. My wife is, scared. They don't have to fix anything. All they have to do is say, okay, I support you. That's it. They don't think like we do. We think they do, but they don't. They don't get it. So when, if then you have the conversation about the investment, the money part of it, then you can speak to that conversation from an empowered place, so if the thing is like, oh my gosh, but that is an investment of money, you can say, yes, it is. But there's this return on investment, but we have invested in these things in the past, or, you were able to go get your master's. This is something that I want to do. Like, you can have a conversation about the money investment or about the time. Like, you can have these conversations of what effect it would have on your family from an equal to equal state, from an empowered state, from me talking to you rationally about something that I want, not from this like, oh my God, I don't know, what do you think? Because that is going to trigger that protective I missed defense. So again, chances are that it's not that your spouse doesn't support you. It's that your spouse is supporting your fear. He's trying to help you fix that fear that you're bringing in versus supporting that empowered you that wants to start your business. So it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. And until you own that, until you put on your big girl pants and own the responsibility for your own dreams and say, you know what, if this life that I'm living is not 100% to my liking, then it's my responsibility to fix it. Nobody's going to fix it for me. And if starting a business is that way, and then talk to your spouse from that empowered place. Does this make sense? I hope it does. I know it's a touchy subject, but it is a big nonsense. Like, out of all of the nonsenses I hear of all the reasons why moms perfectly qualified, totally into the program, don't join, like stay in their comfort zone and in their fear, spouse is one of the biggest ones. It's spouse and money, spouse and money, spouse and money. Those are the biggest nonsenses that I hear. So I know it's controversial, but we had to talk about it. Okay. Cool. So if you are in that place where you say, that's it, I want to start a business. It's a New Year's coming up. I want, this is what I want to do. Or you're not even know if this is what you want to do, but you want to have that conversation to see if you're a good fit, to see what it is about, to see what kind of services we offer, to see how we can help you achieve your dreams, then go to this link and dsrunclub.com/apply and book a call. My schedule gets tighter and tighter. We are trying to open more spots, but go now and grab yours so that we can have that conversation, so that you can empower to make your own decisions. If you're not there yet, that's life. Not everybody's ready to jump in and do their dreams. That's fine. But don't sit there and do nothing, right? Don't stay stuck in your comfort zone. Try to figure out what it is that you want. And one way that you can do it is join our Mind the Gap program in this link. And what it is that, oh my gosh, I just realized something. All right. So Mind the Gap is our program where in 30 days, we fix one problem, right? So you get an email every morning. It has a teaching, a lesson, an assignment, things that have worked for me and for all my clients. You get that. You get like this whole program for 30 days. And right now we have a holiday special for $1 a day. That's it. So all you need, like I try to make it as a no-brainer for you so that if you're not ready to book your call like over there, then at least do this. It's going to cost you $1 a day, and it's going to help you get a lot of clarity in terms of who you are, what you know, and what you do. Okay. So if you want, go there. There is a promotional code is BFFHOL. So BFFHOL gets you our entire program for just $30. But whatever you do, the only thing that you shouldn't do is what? Is do nothing. Because if you are here and if you're watching this live, it's because there's something in your life that is not working. It's because you want to start that business and you too had your spouse say, not really on board with this. And I want you to understand why. And I want to empower you to be able to do it differently. Okay? All right, guys. So thank you so much. I hope that this was enlightening to you, that you learned something. And, I will be back with you. If you're following the series live, I will be back with you tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. Until then, have a great day. Take care.